Punk rock is a cultural bedrock that has always supported radical activism for a fairer society over the decades. It targeted a lot of different issues, but one of the lesser-known fights is the one for animal rights. The British anarcho-punks of Crass were already talking about vegetarianism and animal rights way back in '77, when UK punk was just down and out, but it's hardcore punk that expanded on it and took it way beyond the squats. To understand all that, we're gonna move back to the roots of hardcore and of straight edge. Punk rock was still in its early years and was already starting to lose its focus. Bands were either becoming more commercial, leading too much into fashion and leaving the political comment, or just completely self-destructing. That's when a bunch of kids in Washington, D.C., fed up with the staleness of punk rock, created a movement by accident. Minor Threat was formed in 1980, the year punk rock went hardcore. Hardcore punk is faster, harsher, more aggressive than traditional punk. The genre wanted to move away from the nihilistic nature of traditional punk, aimed to motivate people to make a change with a positive but aggressive message.
Punk rock, all they ever did was complain about shit. You know, fuck the motherfucker, you know, no solutions. Hardcore was about finding solutions to those problems.
Minor Threat's vocalist Ian MacKaye was sick of punk's self-destructive use of drugs to emphasize their antipathy for society. People were dying of overdoses around him. Ian screamed his personal commitment in a song, one that involuntarily started a whole movement. Although the song was never meant to be taken as a set of rules, many people started adopting it as such, and an entire subculture was formed around it. The straight edge movement was born. No drugs, no alcohol, no smoking. Straight edge culture is about abstaining from anything that would numb the mind and help escape reality. Being sober to see the state of the world and to have the energy to change it. It goes perfectly with the DIY nature of the music. And especially at the time, the straight edge ethos was a way to combat addictions, the suffering of people in unfavored communities. A lot of punk kids started to convert, and claiming edge was taken very seriously. They symbolized their commitment by showing off an X on the back of their hand, because bouncers at shows used to sharpie that on underage gig goers, so that bartenders know not to serve them alcohol. The movement spread in other scenes all over the US, Boston, LA, and especially New York.
It's a new song. Everyone's welcome to sing along. It's called Break Down the Walls.
Taking inspiration from spiritually motivated New York hardcore bands like the Cro-Mags, a suburban kid from Connecticut named Ray Cappo breathes new life into the scene. Youth of today redefined the boundaries of a still burgeoning movement. They were a straight edge band, but they took it a bit further. They came out with No More, one of the defining moments that brought vegetarianism, veganism, and animal rights into the hardcore community discourse. Tapes of the DIY music videos are passed around and is cited by many as the catalyst for rethinking their place in the food chain.
I met the Youth of Today cats after a Gilman Street show at Berkeley, California. We went up the street to the donut shop that all the punks hung out at, and I was like, Ray, you guys want a donut? It's on me. And Ray said, nah, man, I don't consume donuts. I'm vegan. And I said, no, they're donuts. They're vegetarian. I'm not vegetarian, I'm vegan. And I never heard that word before. New York hardcore kids were on some next level shit.
Youth of Today were the first vegan straight edge band. Veganism seemed like a logical extension of straight edge to them. If being edge was about ending suffering of humans, what about ending suffering of animals? It was about all living beings. But at the time, no one really got what they were going on about. Vegetarianism wasn't really a thing, or at least a hippie thing. Veganism was surely unheard of. But their lyrics and their now very dated DIY video got people interested. My favorite part is that poor kid trying to eat a burger and the other guy stopping him like, nah man, that's not cool. A lot of people didn't get it, but the people that were in, they were really in.
Carl Beekner is lead singer for a group called Earth Crisis, one of the most popular bands among followers of a small underground movement known as straight edge.
Earth Crisis are direct descendants of Youth of Today. Super aggressive metallic hardcore that took straight edge and especially veganism as their main focus. They sang about it, talked about it, plastered it everywhere. T-shirts, records, you name it. That got people interested.
And there was a band, Earth Crisis, on the back of their record, All Out War, it said, "Go vegan." And that was the first time I'd ever seen the word. I was like, what's that? And then I started finding out about it, and I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. It's perfectly in line with what I have been raised to believe and what I truly believe.
They moved things away from the post-hippie, vegetarian peace vibe towards a scene that encouraged militant direct actions against those who profited from the abuse of animals. I mean, they had songs about historical actions of the Animal Liberation Front, or even about burning down slaughterhouses. When they released their EP Firestorm in 1993, with a song of the same name on it, they completely blew up. The song became an anthem, and their message spread massively.
That's what punk rock was about. Punk rock was saying fuck you to the establishment. There was nothing more punk rock than saying fuck you, I ain't gonna eat dead animals.
And now, the scene is still as strong as ever. In the more than 30 years after Youth of Today's first record, vegan hardcore and its message has spread all over the world. The concept of no animal product consumption is becoming more and more common too, from people in alternative circles to just any regular Joe. Countless important bands and albums, different subgenres, set in different music scenes all over the globe. I'd love to get into all of them, but there's a lot.
Yo, have you heard of that band, Razor Blades in the Bathtub?
The important thing is that shows are still packed with dedicated fans, and now they're broadcasted everywhere on the internet. Paris in November, in a small daytime bar and coffee place just 5 minutes from the Seine River. Tonight, tables are cleared out for a show. There's 6 bands on the bill, from 4 different countries. The US, Germany, Switzerland, Belgium, and France. And all of them have the same clear ethos and message. I'll let you guess what it is.
Creatures of blood and bone, sinners suffering in a place to run. Billions of premature deaths. Remember, ain't no such thing as humane slaughter.
A lot of people see hardcore punk as just another subculture, as a consumer product like any other, where you're listening to hardcore like you would go see a movie. But for us, it is a counterculture that directly opposes itself to capitalist society. What we want to achieve is that concerts should be events, meaning that you're getting together with people for very precise motives, and not just to consume music. It is to go from spectator to actor, and it's also a fight for cultural hegemony. And that's what the hardcore kids of the 80s and 90s did. It's actually kind of incredible that a message can spread that much in an organic way and in the context of a niche underground scene. But now, with the internet and social media, anyone can get involved and the message will get supercharged by the times we live in. Videographers, photographers, journalists, bloggers, fanzine writers, and the general gig goer. Everyone has a purpose in spreading the music, spreading ideas. And when the message is something as personal as animal liberation and veganism, it makes sense that it's up to the people making this choice to preach it. If you like a band's music, don't just come to the show just to mosh or stage dive. Read the lyrics, the interviews, try to familiarize yourself with the message and see how you can convey it to someone else. We need to keep supporting bands and people that have a sincere message to express, and we need to amplify the voices of the oppressed, to stay true to the spirit of hardcore, and to not become like any other genre of music. Don't get lost in the imagery, read up on the message, and get involved. We're all responsible for our own actions, and everyone does what they can. But this community, all these bodies rushing towards the same microphone, jumping on top of each other, all screaming the same words, they're all people with the same desire for a fairer society, and they're all trying to do their part for it. The punk ethos is to question the status quo and advocate for change. You can reject that status quo personally, regarding how you eat, how you spend your money, but you could also go out and actively try and change things.
Support one another, support your bands, support your scene. Don't take this for granted. We're gonna keep things moving.
Regardless of the reason for going vegan, be it health reasons, environmental reasons, or ethical reasons, vegan for the animals, as hardcore keeps chanting, punk has a recognition of total liberation. Different forms of oppression and domination intersect and are caused by the same factors that are maintained, upheld, and reinforced by the capitalist state. I'm not here to shock and disgust you with images of dead or dying animals packed in cages. You've all seen them. But let's just ask this. All this footage of slaughterhouses or factory farms, why did the owners not want it out there? Would a kale farmer care that someone's filming the picking of kale? No living being should be exploited or be a commodity, and that includes animals. There's immense suffering out there in the world, and refusing to consume or use animal products is really the best way to actively protest against all suffering. And all it can take for someone to realize that is someone screaming into a microphone to ignite a spark, and then a tight-knit community to keep the conversation going. Question the status quo, stand against violence, go vegan, and enjoy music.
Stop consuming animals.
I stick aside what is recognized as the border between reason and sanity. I consider it a measure of my humanity to be written off by the living graves of a million murdered lives. And I'm not ashamed of my recurring dreams about being a gun and a different species of carnage strewn about the stock factories of farm. Still I know as well